Hey guys, it's Annie, Creative.Cliche. In today's makeup transformation, I'm going to be transforming myself into a Bratz doll. So this challenge has been all over Instagram the past couple of weeks. It's called the Bratz challenge, where you transform yourself into a Bratz doll. So if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, I'll link it right up here. Also, you can subscribe to this channel. I do post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And yeah, if you guys want to see me transform myself into a Bratz doll, then keep watching. I like to start all my looks off using a toner. This just really helps take off any leftover residue on my face, and it just really helps to keep my skin hydrated. While my brows are still a little damp from that toner, I'm just going to go right in with my glue stick. So you're going to want your brows to be a little wet for this because it just really helps to thin out the glue, making it easier to completely flatten them down. Now I'm just going in with a cream concealer to cover them completely. Since we're going to be extending that eyelid up anyway, we're going to be creating a new eyebrow, so that's why we're hiding them. I'm using the Maybelline Superstay in the shade 112 for her skin tone, and I'm just going to set that using the Pretty Vulgar setting powder just to lock that in place, and then we're moving right along to highlighting. Most people do this step towards the end, but I always find that if I do highlighting before I really start doing my makeup, it just keeps me inspired. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I'm really getting into all those deep areas to eliminate that shadow and kind of just pop them forward a little bit. Bratz dolls, if you look at them, they're pretty flat for the most part, so I'm just trying to resemble that. The iconic Bratz nose is really hard to mimic on a human nose because it's so small, it's barely even there. So I used a few different techniques, but I couldn't really figure out exactly what I wanted. I added a dark concealer underneath and on top to create a small button nose appearance, but it just wasn't looking right, so I'm just gonna leave that for now, and I'm just gonna focus on brightening up my under eyes with some concealer. Then for contouring, I'm just going in with the Cut 1 palette by Luminous Cosmetics, and I'm using this little chisel brush that came with my Hoola bronzer, and I'm pretty much just sculpting out my bone structure. So now we're moving on to the fun part. We're just going to be extending our eye opening down so that we can maintain our eyelid as her eyelid, just a little bit bigger. I don't know if that made any sense. So basically, I'm just extending that line from my tear duct down to create a new one, and then I'm feathering it up into a narrowed eye appearance, connecting it into a winged eyeliner effect. Going in with white paint, I'm filling in the sclera, is that how you say it? The white part of the eye. Then for her iris, I'm going in with the green paint just to make it pop against my background here, smoking out around the eyes, and then I'm outlining it using some black paint. I'm adding her new tear ducts, and then I'm starting to map out her extended eyelids. So I really wanted to give her a smoky eye because I feel like I haven't seen anyone else do that yet, and I feel like it would also really play into the illusion a little more. So I'm just gonna smoke that out using some black eyeshadow. Now we're moving on to the brows. I'm just making sure that they're both even here after I did them because I couldn't tell. But I was just lining them up with the edges of my eyes just to make sure that they were both even. And then I'm just basically filling them in with black paint. I'm adding a little bit of highlighter under her brows just to define them a little more and make it pop. And also I'm drawing in her eyelashes, which I made them a little more intense than the normal because I don't know, I felt like since I was giving her a smoky eye, I definitely wanted to make sure that her eyelashes were still prominent enough to show through the smoky eye. I don't know. I thought that the nose was tough, but these lips were definitely a challenge, especially since I feel like muting out your lip color is so tough when you're going in with a lighter color than it is using a darker color. But I really had a vision for these light pink milkshake kind of shade lips. So I really wanted to push through and see if I could make it work. So I'm using the colors Holy Chic from Too Faced and a little bit of Ballerina from CoverGirl. And then I also topped it off with this light cream paint by Ben Nye. So I'm pretty much just trying to make it work. To make it slightly more natural, or unnatural, I guess, whichever way you see it, I'm just grabbing this lip liner by Milani. This is in the color Spice. And I'm also taking the shade Mary from the James Charles palette, and I'm just making the lips a little darker on the outside and then lighter on the inside kind of look. You know, like that 90s special. Bratz always have that perfect wash of blush, so I'm just gonna add that real quick. I'm shading in the top of my nose along with the bottom of my nose just to give it that perfect button nose effect. And I'm also going in and creating these little freckles. This was done with 10 different reference photos, so I didn't have like a specific image in mind. I was just kind of basing it off of everything. To finish out the look, I'm just contouring my forehead, adding some lip highlights with some white cream paint, and I'm also just shading my neck just to look a little bit thinner. To add a little bit of fun to her smoky eye, you know I had to use some glitter, so the one that I'm using is by Blend Minerals, and this is in the number 1, so it's just like a black glitter, and I'm applying this using the Ben Nye glitter glue. Now for the final touches. I'm adding her pupils, going over her brow bone highlight with some white paint just to make it pop a little bit more. I'm also going in and I'm outlining her iris, adding some highlight dots to her eyes for dimension, and then I'm also highlighting my nose. To pay homage to the Bratz passion for fashion, I figured I would throw on this off-the-shoulder dress by Amazon. It's super cheap, I'll link it down below. Some of the sewing has come loose on the sides, but like, who cares? You can just re-sew it. It's so cheap, it's like not even funny, so it's worth it. Then I'm just messing with my lips for the 100th time. I'm adding some more lip liner, and then I'm just going in and I'm teasing my hair with my fingers, just like, just kind of like digging into my scalp just to give it a little bit more volume. And then I'm just adding these hair clips, and we're good to go. And that's the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That really helps me out. You can also subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay creative.